Hello then. Right, what time is it now? It's 2:27 in the morning. I'm going well. I've done a few videos. I'm going to lean forward and be a bit relaxed on this one. This one's oh, look at me. I'm dry skinned. Oh my goodness me. And I'm slurring my words a bit. I've got a nasal problem at the moment. I'm squirting stuff up my nose, so I'm not happy with the way that I'm actually pronouncing my words. So I'm sorry about that. And I'm a bit hesitant as well. I'm not as fluid as I want to be. So we're talking about Apollo now. Apollo is part of the Minerva suite of documentation for Pegasus. Pegasus is a methodology. Agile Pegasus we're working on. It's the Agile program development. And we're using all the technology that's available to move fast and move quickly. Rapid application development. Right, so we want to be using photo booth to start doing documentation instead of writing it out. So these are Apollo documents. You can say a lot more in an Apollo document than actually typing it out. So these are going to be 15-minute documents because that's the limitation on YouTube, 15 minutes. And right, so the document type for Minervas are this. Genesis documents, that's protopage. Protopage is what we're using to deliver documentation. And the Genesis documents are sticky notes and HTML. That's where you make your notes. You then, in Google Forms, use Google Forms for prototyping. So if you're thinking about a database, you do a Google form, right? And that is Demos, D for data. Now, if you're writing a specification, you want to write a specification and give some tangible documentation. That's a Google document, and that's a Phobos document for procedure. Because you can do that, you can do flowcharting. You can do flowcharting on that. So that's Demos for data, because Google Forms produces a spreadsheet, and P for procedures. That's Phobos. Now Apollo is for MP4. Like I said, Genesis documents is your notes, where you're keeping notes. That's your proto page. And Socrates is your Google documents, where you write your specification. So we'll leave it at that for now, because there's other objects you can create in Google, and I need to look at those. So I'll do that under Minerva. But this is an Apollo document to tell you that when you're using documentation on the proto page, wherever you see bookmarks with Apollo on it, they're MP4 files. Right. Now, whilst we're on here, we'll talk about you as a child. You're 6 years of age now, and you're playing with computers. I hope you're playing with computers. I hope you're playing with your dad. And I hope he's got you on a Windows 10 machine using camera, or a Mac using photo booth. And you're uploading to YouTube. Now, there's a limitation on YouTube. You can only do 15-minute videos. If you want to do anything longer, you have to go onto a website, youtube.com/verify, and that will ask you for your phone number. They'll phone you up and they'll give you a passcode. And you want a passcode to authorise you doing videos longer than 15 minutes. But I think 15 minutes is long enough for anybody, because what you do is you take stuff in at the start of the video, you take stuff in at the end of the video, and you lose what's in between. So my message, this is the end video message, is that start using your computer for revision work, for school. Start now. When you've had lessons, right, and you're given homework, when they start to give you homework, that's the time to start doing revision, because then you're working on your own. And what you should be doing, rather than being led by the teacher, you've got your books. You should be ahead of the teacher. You should be reading ahead and making notes. And making notes on scraps of paper and doing mind maps. You should read your books and watch my video on speed reading and create a mind map. Once you've created a mind map, then create a narrative, a transcript of what you want to say. You write some notes down, structure it, and then create a video. And then you'll use that video to revise. Now, the learning curve for education is you get a severe drop-off, a memory drop-off, after the first day. You drop down, right? It's a downward curve. Now, if you want to maintain your memory at an upper level, you have to revise. You have to revise the day after. So I want you to revise using your photo booth and your mind map. And then you revise at the weekend, Saturday morning. And then you revise at the end of the month on a Sunday. You spend a Sunday to revise. So you need to book your Saturday mornings and your Sunday for revision. And you revise every month. Now, you need to revise subjects after 3 months, and after 6 months, and after a year. And then revise it every year after that, and then just before exams. So you need to be preparing yourself for your exams. Right? Now, they don't teach you this at school. They don't teach you how to revise. They don't teach you that you need to be doing it. They teach you to do your homework and put your homework in. And you put your homework in, then you forget about it and you don't look about it. And then you realise at the age of 14, 15, you're coming up to exams, you've got mock exams, and they say, right, start revising now for your mocks. You should have been revising from the day they actually taught you to build up to your mocks, so you got it imprinted in your mind. You revise the following night. If you want to study and you want to learn something, you do a transcript and use photo booth. So at the end of say 6 months studying a subject, you can do a master mind map of the subject, and then do a transcript and do yourself a half-an-hour photo booth on the subject matter, and then that's your master revision document for when you do your exams. Now, I'm not an academic, but I'm clever, I'm bright, and I didn't bother doing school. I dropped out of school. I didn't bother. I got my A-levels, in physics, but I should have passed my maths, but I dropped out. I didn't do the last year of my maths. I dropped out. Bit stupid, really, but I knew what I wanted to do. I was going to go to Europe, so I went to Europe after school. I've been working. I started to work too soon. I started to work when I was at school, and I was earning money, and I decided I wanted to go to Europe. So I had too much money. That was me being silly, really. I mean, Dad told me not to go to university. You've got to go to university. You've got to go to university because you get like me when you're old and you need to change your job because the company's closed down. You're happy with where you're working. You're happy in a job, but circumstances, the economy means that the company's closed down. Then you're competing with the kids coming out of university and you're applying for jobs. Now, I lost my job a long time ago, and I was top-notch consultant in the UK for many years on IBM mainframes, and I had a good career, and I was well respected, and I was applying for jobs then. I learned PCs, I learned how to program in ASP.NET and SQL Server, and I learned it, and I could do it, and I was applying for jobs. I wasn't getting any interviews, no degree. Competing, 40 years of age, no degree, no Microsoft certified qualifications, and that's what I should have done. I should have done Microsoft certified qualifications, but I had to work, and I didn't have the time to to spend and study as much as I should have done. So I came out of the IT industry. But I've learned and I've studied for many, many years now, and have a website called Digital Champions, which I use and I watch from time to time. I've gone onto YouTube and watched the videos on all aspects of IT, as I've been. People are very interested in me. I get lots of invites to ask me to work in IT now, but I'm retired. I'm old. I get lots of interest from agencies, but I'm old now, and it's a young man's game, and I'm busy teaching IT now, and I want to teach you, and I want to get you up and running by the time you're 12 years of age to start to do some programming, proper programming, Microsoft programming, using Visual Studio. But you're a bit young for that yet. I want you to get into JavaScript programming on a PC as soon as possible. You should be able to do that by the time you're 8. At 8 years of age, you should start, if you're thinking of a career in IT, you should be programming for fun from the age of 8. And that's what we'll try and do. Get you trying in the BSG, Bite Size Golf Academy, and I'll start to give you lessons. And one of the lessons you'll do is signatures. I'm going to do a video shortly on here called Signatures. So watch out for signatures, and watch out for Apollo, which are YouTube videos on IT. And I'll try and give you as much information I can about my career. Right, that's an 11-minute video, and that was a video just to tell you that Apollo is a type of document in a Minerva project file. So that's effective presentation, because I've told you what I was going to tell you, I've told you, and then at the end, I've told you what I've just told you. So that's watch my P for effective presentations. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you told them. So I'm telling you what I told you again. Apollo, within my documentation, my Pegasus documentation, which is protopage. And you should all be using protopage from the age of 8 to start recording stuff that you see on YouTube that's interested. And when you're studying at school, you should be coming at home and looking at YouTube to see if there's any YouTube videos to watch on the subject matter. If you're doing mathematics and you're doing mathematics on ratios, have a look on YouTube to see if there's any ratios and start it in your protopage. Start building up your portfolio. Start being professional about your learning at school and show your mum and dad how great you are. Because you're young, you're 6 years of age, you're going to be great. Start using protopage. Get on the computer now and get your dad to show you. Right, I hope you all enjoyed that, because if you've done, that's going to change your lifestyle. That's going to really connect you with your kids and get them learning and having fun. And yes, Dad, it's up to you. You're the one that should be showing them the ways. You sit down and do it for them and show them go to YouTube and do a golf channel like I did to learn golf. Teach them, get your child down to a golf club and get them doing golf videos on. And that's what the Golf Hub's about. The Golf Hub is about getting kids to use protopage to teach themselves to use golf. If they can teach themselves to play golf using protopage and what's on YouTube, they can teach themselves to do microeconomics and macroeconomics. And you can look at my website, protopage.com, Economics 2020, and look at the great stuff that's on that. Right, thank you. Enjoy protopage.